All right, ahead of the State of the Union address, President Obama is taking his agenda on the road, pushing his efforts to boost the economy. Now, this week, the president will be visiting Detroit, Phoenix, and end with Knoxville, Tennessee. That'll be on Friday. But in Michigan tomorrow, he'll be touting the auto industry recovery at a Ford plant now closed due to lack of demand for its hybrid and smaller cars. But our next guest says conservative policies, not the president's policies, deserve the credit for getting everything else back on track. Joining us right now to expand on that and more, Michigan Congressman Mike Bishop. Congressman, what do you mean?
Well, there are a lot of reasons why the Michigan economy is back on track. The federal government is not the reason. I would give credit first and foremost to the resilient workforce here in Michigan. This is a very, very highly skilled, resilient workforce that has done a lot to bring this industry back. I also give credit to the Republican leadership that was ushered in 2010 that has done so much to turn our economy around and made a real difference.
So the president did go ahead and bail out the auto industry. He said more than 303,000 jobs are created, unemployment since 2006. In terms of the auto bailout's effects, 1 million potential jobs were saved in your state. That's more than 500,000 jobs that have been created in sales of light trucks. And, of course, that sale has gone through the roof. For light trucks, it's up almost 6% in 2014. Does the president get some credit for doing the bailout, for helping GM?
I think the people of the state of Michigan would be very resentful to have a politician come into town and take credit for any kind of recovery here in Michigan. Michigan has a lot of great things going for it. We are now the comeback state, largely because of state leadership, nothing to do with the federal leadership. So I would be very careful if I were the president to come into Michigan and take credit for the turnaround that we've seen in Michigan.
And it will be a battleground state in the next election. And you
for
know,
sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And the governor Snyder might even be a presidential candidate, and he's taken on the unions and made it a right-to-work state. But let me ask you something, Congressman, in particular. If you look at the Chrysler story, the Ford story, they didn't need any help. In Chrysler, they were sold to an Italian company. GM is the one that can say, okay, I got the infusion, which really started during the Bush years.
That's correct. Look, there are a lot of reasons why the auto industry is where it is today. But again, I fall back on the fact that we had Michiganders back in the lost decade under the Granholm administration that couldn't afford to buy a car. Now we've got our economy back on the rise. We have people back to work. They've got benefits now. Michigan is looking up, and the auto industry is being raised right now, not just by policy, but by the economy that it's growing and prospering right now. So there are a lot of factors that have gone into it. The president, though, has got to be careful with taking sole for what's going on here. It's just amazing what this Republican leadership has done, and it's happened in all those states that he's visiting right now. All those states like Tennessee, Arizona, and states that he's visiting during this tour are all led by Republican leaders.
I just hope he comes back and maybe we'll get something done for the next 2 years. Congressman Mike Bishop, let's be optimistic. Thanks so much for joining us this morning, and good luck with your next session.
Thank you, sir.
All right, 14 minutes down before the bottom of the hour.